Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my beautiful co-host. We have
Michelle Nash. Hello.
Hi, Michelle Nash. Hello. How are you doing today?
Doing great. It's bright and sunny, extremely sunny. And so we're embracing the sunshine and another 3 awesome Road Rules episodes.
They're just like great. I love them so much. I don't know if it's because I'm just nostalgic or the music is just so bad that I kind of want to get the playlist because I just need to recreate this in some, I don't know, work that I do. Like I need to make to have this like 90s soundtrack. It's so good. It's so bad and it's so good. I don't know. It's amazing.
But it's so good.
For our first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. We are talking about Road Rules Season 1, Episode 7, 8, and 9. So you heard our pre-thoughts about it. What, like, other than, just loving these 3 amazing episodes, what do you feel about the whole trio in general?
Yeah, I mean, I am going to try not to go too far ahead because I did watch a couple extra eps, but I loved that it really just showed, even once again, their like camaraderie and how much like they bother each other like siblings and family, but then they like always end up coming back together. And like I feel like Carlos went through this whole, again, it was a whole cycle where I was mad at him again, but then I felt for him. And in the end, I was like, I get why he is the way that he is. Anyway, and like I don't know, there's just way more intricacies and they're all so willing to just go and try things and play, even when they're like being like you think about Shelly and Carlos at the beginning and like not wanting to do shit. And then by this point they're doing shit, and I don't know. It was really heartwarming. I had a couple moments.
Okay, I can't wait to hear when those moments were. I mean, the whole thing is a moment for me, especially. So we start off the episode 7 with Kit talking to her boyfriend, and like she doesn't care about her boyfriend really at all. Like, and she does talk about the fact that she's like, oh, she doesn't really get invested emotionally, blah blah blah. And I think it's just because she doesn't actually really like him, and he just can't forgive her for this kiss. Just cannot. Do you think that kiss was that bad? Like, and the fact that she's coming and telling him immediately, like, how did you feel about
No, I don't think the kiss itself was that bad, but I think what's worse is everything else. Like every other scene, she's like sitting on his lap, like they're all over each other. And then like what I think is worse is what we see later on when his girlfriend is there, because that is so bizarre. Like he's openly saying, yeah, we're obviously going to hook up. And then his girlfriend's there and he's all over his girlfriend. But then when his girlfriend's there and he walks over to Kit, he's all over her still. Like, it's so weird to me. In terms of Kit, I think she's fine. She admitted the truth right away. She was honest. She said, this is what happened, and it doesn't seem like she really minds that if he's like, no, she's like, maybe he'll talk to me next year, like whatever. Right. I think she's more concerned about how she's coming across and her parents and all that.
Yeah, she basically, like, as soon as he wasn't really, like, forgiving her, she's like, well, okay, let's go out on the town with my friends, like, and the people that are fun. Like, she really didn't seem to care. She didn't want to sit and mope around. She wanted to turn it up. Turn it up. That's what her words exactly were, turn it up. She's, like, 20 years early. Like, that's the saying, like, now let's turn it up. So
she's so ahead. She's really ahead of the game.
Now, I had a dead moment. And I was wondering if you clocked it as well. Mark dancing.
Oh, yeah, his dancing.
It's so good. To like the like bad rock, like music. Like I don't even think it's a real band. I think it's just like people like in the studio trying to make background music.
Yeah, honestly, the music, the dancing, it's all ridiculous and so 90s, like grunge, but not. And he's like not grunge. He's like so obviously like preppy and I don't know. He's hilarious. I love that he just does what he wants, but he's not really an asshole about it. Like even the shit with his girlfriend, it's like, I don't know. He's just doing the thing. Like no one's asking, like no one's like questioning it, and he's just like living his life. And he's not lying about any of it. It doesn't seem.
No, I know. And so his girlfriend comes and meets them at this bar that they're at. I don't know how far they traveled or whatever. And like gotta love the fact that she was wearing a blazer, a bob, a blazer, and hoop earrings. Like I was like living for your talk show host glam.
Yeah, it was definitely a look. It was like, oh, I'm edgy, like downtown vibes.
It's so good, 1990s. I mean, I remember when blazers were a thing. There's a picture of me in grade 7 where I was like wearing a blazer for like my school photo. Like, why am I wearing a blazer?
I like a good blazer. Honestly, I still do, but it has to be the right situation, man. Like, it has to be the right situation.
Now I'll wear a blazer because now like I make it edgy. It's usually like an oversized blazer type thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sexy underneath. But like back then, 95, like
no, it was a real like slim.
Blaine says, hi Blaine. Hey ladies, how are we doing today? We are doing well. We're happy to have you here. I know that you hate going back before you were born to watch these episodes, but did you happen to catch these ones? Because I still think that they're really good too. Reminisce about the good old days. Okay, so did you catch the part where Mark was talking to his girlfriend about like since like January 18th or December 18th, like how many people have you been with or something like that?
No, I didn't catch that. He asked her that?
Well, he said something like that, and then she asked it back, and he's like, only one. So I don't know if you've been with men like sex or if it meant like kiss other than him. Or what?
Okay.
But like they both told each other one person that they've seen or whatever outside of their relationship.
Okay, that makes me feel, honestly, I don't remember hearing what they were saying in that moment. But that makes sense because I'm like, he's the one saying like, oh, it's inevitable. We're going to hook up. We get along well. We have chemistry. He's not ever saying like, oh, I have feelings for Kit. He's just like, I enjoy being around her. And like, yeah, it's probably inevitable. We're going to hook up. And like, it's cool. Like, it seems like he has actually kind of like progressively like open communication with his girlfriend about it in a way, even though the girlfriend still maybe seemed kind of jealous, but that was also because like she had to see the other girl right there and him like be chatting with her and like kissing her on the cheek, like when the girlfriend's there. So that was kind of awkward, but like, I appreciate that he's more just real. Like,
and maybe they had some sort of agreement like, hey, like, I don't know what's going to happen on this like trip. I don't know who I'm going to be meeting. Like, so let's just be open with like what goes on, like, and not have any ties, but like, let's be honest with each other. That's what it seemed like. They must have had a pre-conversation because it didn't seem like she was mad for him saying the one and he didn't seem mad the other way. They're kind of like, this is our agreement. Okay, how about no more people other than that? And so it seems as though, to me, that it gives them the carte blanche for him to continue doing whatever he's doing with Kit because it's still the same one person, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So sneaky, but like he's still cute about it. I'm into it.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate myself.
Right? We're so awful, but it's like, oh, if you're gonna cheat well, at least make the girl feel good about it.
And also, like, what I mean, they're so young too. It's just a different world.
Such a different world. And so somebody told Kit to listen to her messages. I don't know who knew that, but told her to listen to her voicemail for a clue. And so basically they need to go to Bald Head Island, also nicknamed Old Baldy. Have you ever heard of this place?
No.
Neither have I. 100 people in Bald Head Island. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely no more than 100 people, so I could populate that entire island.
Yeah.
So they all leave, and I thought that Los was cute with his family and like his little. It looks like a little sister or a niece or nephew, like just like kind of cuddling, saying bye to his mom and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is probably where the upward trajectory for liking Los is. And I loved how Kit's parents were making fun of Allison and her accent because like I was living for that accent when she went to visit their family, but that's a little bit later. But yeah, they all missed each other. I guess they were all staying separately. They didn't all stay with Kid, or they're staying all on the.
Yeah, they were all split up. Like Los is with his family, Kit's with her family. Like they were all kind of like, yeah. I think they just had a moment to like have a break, which is nice that they give them these like breaks every time they're somewhere near one of their families. They can like have a moment where they get some free food and they get to just like chill for a sec. It is kind of a cool thing. It's like a weird like young adult summer camp, but you're on your own, but there's also camera crews, and then you get to see your parents.
Isn't it great?
I'm obsessed. Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, I really wanted to be on the show like back then. It was
so fun. Oh my God.
All these adventures that you just get to have with people that you'd never ever meet. And that's what I love. You know this. So they have to take a ferry to Bald Head Island, and apparently they find a clue at the top of the boat. Mm-hmm. And so they have a job at some fishing company that they have to go to the next morning. So part of it, they have to split up again. So half of them have to go out and go fishing, and the other half have to like clean the fish and sort the fish and stuff like that. And so they drew straws, and Allison got the short straw, so she didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. And it was just Kit and Los doing that little activity. Would you have been getting up at 5 a.m. to do that, or would you just slept until 8 to deal with the fish?
I would have rather gone on the boat, honestly, because I don't get really that sick from boats, and I really enjoy being on the water.
I know I've never been seasick before, but have I told you my catamaran story?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll tell a little quick version of it. So 21st birthday, go to Dominican Republic. And we all went out the night before because it was going to be my birthday at midnight, whatever. But we had arranged to have a catamaran take us out, and then we go scuba diving. It was my first time scuba diving. And we were going with some of our regular customers at the restaurant that we worked at. And so this one regular customer, he was like, you have to scuba dive, like you, Nicole, like you got to scuba dive. Like it's amazing. And he's like, I don't know, he's scuba dived everywhere. And so he really wanted us to go. But we went out on the catamaran beforehand, and he got seasick while he was on the catamaran. So he didn't want to leave us by ourselves because he knew that we were kind of scared to do this. So he goes down with us still, and we go down, down, down underwater, and he starts throwing up underwater. And like he's like a very good scuba diver, so he knows how to take off his whatever it's called. And so he's barfing and spitting out barf and then putting back on his thing because he didn't want to clog up his air thing. And all the fish would just like attack his barf. And so it's just like like too late, and it's to his barf. He's just being attacked from all angles, his barf from all these fishes because he's throwing up underwater.
Ew.
So that is my my impression of being seasick is barfing underwater while scuba diving.
Yeah, that just sounds actually disgusting. And yeah, I mean, if I feel unsafe, it'll freak me out on a boat. But that boat seemed totally great. And I would just like, you could just lie there, like, sweet, just sit there on the water. Like, I don't want to gut fish. I've got like one fish in my life, and it was disgusting.
I've never really gutted a fish. No, I don't think so. I've never actually gone fishing though. Have you been fishing before? Yeah.
Yeah, and I caught a bass and sliced her up and cooked her.
Ooh, was it delish?
I mean, I got like this much meat out of it, but it was fine.
Yeah, I've never gone fishing. It's something that I would like to try, even though I feel bad a little bit about like killing the fish, so I'd probably throw it back in. But
yeah, I'd feel weird about fishing now. I don't know. It was a long time ago when I fished.
I mean, I'd still maybe try. I just want to have the experience just to know what it feels like and like just be able to say that I've done it, but it might never happen. Who knows? I don't know. I feel like it would happen if I was like outside of Canada. Like if I was on like, I was on a vacation and like they had like some fishing expenditure. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. So Kit had to pee really badly, and there was obviously no, washroom on this particular boat. And so apparently she has to pee in the bucket, so she decided to hold it. Would you have held it or peed in the bucket?
Pee in the bucket.
No, right?
If I have to go, I have to go. I'll pee my pants. I don't give a shit.
I know. I'm like that. Like it's the one thing that like everybody thinks it's so embarrassing, but it's kind of like I'm gonna pee my pants. Like I'm just gonna let that happen. Sorry.
It's worse for you if you hold it in.
True. There's been so many times that like it's like if I'm walking home from somewhere and like I really had to go, but I'm wearing like say like overalls or like something that's a onesie, and so I remember one time it was raining and I was like, I really had to go, but I didn't want to get half naked and like be behind a bush. So I just walked in the rain and yeah. So there you go. I've definitely done many questionable pee moments in my lifetime. Hopefully it'll never come back to haunt me.
Well, we'll see. If you get on the show, I mean, who knows what they'll find.
Don't say that. I mean, I guess like, oh my God, it'd just be really embarrassing. But what can you do? Mark eating the raw fish was pretty gross.
Ew. It was like,
Lowe's got seasick. I was surprised that he would get seasick from being so eager to go on the boat.
yeah, I guess he didn't realize. I mean, I felt bad for the guy because feeling like that kind of nausea is just the worst feeling. Like, I hate being nauseous. Like, it just, you feel like nothing you can do is helping and you just feel dizzy and disgusting and like, and you know you have no escape because you're on this boat for like however much longer you're on this boat. So yeah, I definitely felt for the guy.
I don't really know what that feels like. I've only had food poisoning once, so I never really get nauseous. So
I struggle with nausea a lot. Less so now, but growing up, I had a lot of nausea.
Really? My growing up thing that I had was nosebleeds.
We all have our thing.
I forgot though that I was a nosebleed kid at one point. Like always have nosebleed.
I was the person who was like, "Oh my God, my stomach hurts. I have to puke, but I don't want to puke." And like, I don't know. And like, you know, like I was that kind of kid.
Nobody. You're that kind of kid. I'm just kidding. So yeah, they didn't catch anything. Lowe's finally throws up, and Kit with her cute little lines being like, yeah, the only thing I caught was a view of Lowe's barfing over the boat.
She's great. She's always playing it up for the cameras, but it's in a very fun, genuine way. Like, she's aware. She's like, and this is what I'm just great at this. Like, and you know she's making fun of herself, but it's like very nice. It's, I don't know. She's great for the show. It made me think, like, why didn't she do the challenge?
Well, I think she got, I don't know if I married them, but she started working for Extra, like, or she started doing like a sports newscaster, I think, of stuff. Like, I think she got a lot of work right away. I don't remember why though. I had her origin story up. I'll see if I can find it before we get off this. To see what her timeline was, but I think she went and started doing like broadcasting like right away, and then she's been in that world ever since. So maybe it just didn't
line up
schedule, and like she was older out of all the people. Like, she was 24, so like she probably like wanted her career. And
I love how I'm always like, why wouldn't you want to do more reality TV shows? Because like, to me, I'm like, isn't it the best? But then I'm like, oh, I bet you for a lot of people, they're like, no, I did this one thing. I wasn't looking to be famous. It was an experience.
Well, she is famous now. Like, she's like regular on Extra.
She is?
Yeah. Yeah, she's Kit Hoover. I'm gonna find you then. Hold on. There's a clip of. Okay, you'll love this big time.
So she's an actor.
No, Extra, as in like she's a host. Like, she's like a.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Like a reporter.
Like, what show's Extra? Hilarious. Okay.
Or Access Hollywood, or one of those shows. Sorry, Extra's Canadian. Access Hollywood is what I'm thinking about. I think.
Okay.
Hold on, I want to find this for you. Actually, if I can find the vid. It's really satisfying because there's a video of Mark surprising her on whatever show she's on, Extra.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cute. Oh my God, the sun is so hot that I'm sweating.
Yeah, you're real bright, except I can still see your eyes.
Where is that? I might have to come back for it. Is that it? No. I had it somewhere. I think I had it set up to go, and then we never ended up talking about it, and then I didn't share it with you. Darn it.
We can find it later.
Yeah, I totally will find it later. But oh my God, I'm so sweaty. Okay, so then they had to cut and scale the fish, and Allison really liked it because she's becoming a doctor. I liked that she was interested in the anatomy of it all. It's just like a nice moment to see people's passions kind of come out through these little activities. Mission 9 is completed. They definitely get a tape for their next mission in the fish guts box or the fish box. And they have to go to the city that never sleeps, to the garden with no flowers, and talk to the clown that runs the place and use your skills to get on TV. So it was pretty obvious what they had to do. I feel like it's a really far drive though. Like I feel like they're driving a lot to get to New York.
Definitely. That's why they spent a night, remember, on the way?
Yes.
That's when they spend the night at the place.
Because like thinking about it, if they were in Vegas a few days ago, like I know that they've been doing like big jumps, whatever, like probably driving for 24 hours at least. But like from Vegas to New York, that's like driving from Vancouver to Toronto.
Yeah.
It's like 3 days. That's a lot. I mean, it's just a far, 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 far drive. Have you seen this before? Have you ever been on like a Winnebago or a RV?
No. I would love to, but I also don't drive, so.
Right. I never had to drive it, but when I was, I think 20, maybe I was even 21, I was picked to be part of this crew that was promoting this magazine called FW Magazine. It was some new magazine that was on the newsstands. And so there's like 6 of us that were chosen to go and throw Bacardi parties in every city in Canada. And so we'd go to the university during the day, and we had like sponsors from like Christian Dior, face wash stuff, and PlayStation and CIBC. And so we had this like big setup. And then at night at the university, we'd throw like a Bacardi party. And so we went to every major city, starting in New Brunswick and then driving all the way over to Vancouver. So it was like 3 weeks long. And we flew back from Vancouver. We flew back to Toronto. But I have spent time on RV where you had to like sleep in little cabin things. And then
I mean, I did sleep in a sleeper bus when I was on tour doing a show once, but like we only had to use sleeper bus sometimes. Like it wasn't the whole thing on the sleeper bus. Sometimes it was hotels, but like sometimes it was a sleeper bus, and it was cool. But I could never sleep when the car was driving, when the bus was driving. Like the sound and the coldness, like, and it was so cramped. Like I don't know, I just never slept.
I mean, I can understand not sleeping. It's not comfortable. It's like bumpy.
It just also freaks me out when the car's moving because I'm like, oh, we're gonna crash.
I mean, not to laugh at that because I actually know people that have lost their life that way or indirectly, but like I can fall asleep anywhere. That's one of my gifts, I think.
That is a gift.
My grandmother was the psychic grandmother. She was narcoleptic. So I think that's actually why she was so psychic, because when you're hovering between like sleep and awake, I think that it allows you to connect with like the other side or other dimensions or whatever. And so, but she was like, I would just be sitting on her lap and talking to her, and she'd just like fall asleep, and they'll be like, Granny, wake up, Granny. And she'd just like, oh, like, was I sleeping? And yeah, so she just like always fall asleep.
I love that.
So maybe it's like, maybe because like I only kind of can fall asleep anywhere. Like that's why I'm only like partially psychic, not as psychic as she is. Maybe.
True.
But I can always fall asleep. So Allison is pumped, of course. She gets to go see her family. And Los hates New York and New Yorkers. What's with that? He never really explained himself.
I mean, I think like it's like he's been there, right? He wants to go to places he's never been. To him, New York is busy and overcrowded, and there's a lot of like cops and a lot of like just that. Like I just think that like it's not his scene. Even like the night that they all go to the bar and he's like, I'm just sick of bars. It's like I think he just likes to chill sometimes, and he doesn't always want to go out. He likes cool experiences, but I think that he's just like he doesn't need that scene all the time.
Like, I mean, I have never been to New York as an adult, but like, I would think that just would be an exciting place to go.
Yeah, I would be excited. I mean, I've been as an adult like once and it's cool, but it's just like, if you know where you're going, if you know, like if you're only there for like what, they're there for like a day or whatever, and they have these tasks to do, and they have to drive this like huge RV like through the traffic of New York. It's just like stressful, I think. And also he likes to over exaggerate when he's in a bad mood. He just likes to be like, oh, this sucks. Like he likes to be that downer sometimes when he gets in a bad headspace. So I think it was just like a little bit of both. And like for whatever reason, him and Allison, like she bothers him so much. So he wants to just like discount anything that she's going to be excited about.
I think that that's more the thing is that I don't know why he doesn't like her as much as she does, because to me, what I've seen, nobody has warranted him to not like them or be rude or mean to them. You know what I mean? Like I think they're very forgiving for his attitude and how he is, and like they don't.
I mean, I think it was first because remember how he was like Shelly, she rejected him. He was super rude to Shelly all the time, and now they seem to be okay. And now he's just being so rude to Allison or whatever. I think that he has a crush on her now.
There it is. Like, oh, you gotta hit the ones you like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's moved on from Shelly and now he's into Allison, and
Allison's not really giving him the time of day in that way. And so
she tries to hug him and stuff sometimes, but I think, he's just like, he's insecure.
Lows. Poor Lows. So they end up staying in a hotel en route. Shelly and Allison sleep together. Mark and Kit get a room together. And Lowe's slept in the Winnebago. Do you think it was because he was going to conserve money?
Yeah, he even says that. He's like, he wants to save his money. And as much as they all are like, oh, he's ruining it for the group, like, I do understand, I would be fine every once in a while, like, not getting a hotel. I don't, like, yeah, shower's great, whatever. But, like, you're supposed to be roughing it. Like, that's the point. And I don't know. I would want a hotel every once in a while. But, like, if I can save that money and use it to get, like, a cool keepsake of, like, the trip or a different kind of experience, if there's that opportunity, or just, like, to have that extra money in case something happens, like, I'd want to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone was getting a hotel room, I'd probably get the hotel room. If everybody wanted to stay in the Winnebago, I'd stay in the Winnebago. I would be pretty malleable in those decisions because I'm fine sleeping anywhere. I'm fine not showering. I'm fine also sleeping in a bed and fine showering. So I'd probably be the lowest. No, I'd probably be the third person I'd probably hang out with Kit and Mark, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd be like, hey guys, sorry, we're getting 2 double beds in here. That's who I'd room with. Who would you out of those people, out of the three groups?
I'd probably Shelly, Allison.
Girl Shelly, huh? I like her too.
Yeah, I just feel like she'd be chill.
Super chill. So they stop in DC, and so this is where Los has been going to university or college, as they say in the States. And Los wants to show Shelly around. So this is an example of him like forgiving her for rejecting his advances and wants to show her a good time. And he even called her Shell Bell. I don't know when he does that, but I wrote it down somewhere. Shell Bell. I was like, wow, like this is like nickname territory. Like he actually really likes her, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one thing that I definitely put a big asterisk beside, was how Los was pulled over for being a person of color driving, and it was caught on camera being suspected of smoking weed when it wasn't happening at all. And so I found it really interesting that it was so clear that racial profiling was happening even in 1995, when people are just being like, oh my God, I never knew this happened. You know what I mean? With like,
yeah, it was a great moment to circle back to now. Like, it's like these things have been obviously happening forever. It's just like, and it's never, now we have more proof, but like even on this show in fucking 95, the one time he's driving and there's any cops around, he immediately gets stopped. He's not breaking any rules. They see some tobacco and say, oh, it smells like weed, or when there's no weed there, and he's not even the one smoking the cigarettes. In fact, he doesn't smoke at all. Like, and just how it upset him, it was really like, that was a huge moment. And it circles back to later on when they end up having to do like the cop thing that you'll see later. And it's really a full circle moment for him. And it was, yeah, it really struck me.
Well, and I thought it was just amazing that they kept this moment in, because nowadays they would not allow this to be on the TV screen.
Yeah.
So I really was thankful just to see it, especially with what's been going on with, like, you know, George Floyd and how that went down. With he was for basically the exact same thing. I know that there was the suspicion that he had a counterfeit money or whatnot, but it was also about the fact that, like, he was apparently smoking weed and all this stuff. Anyways, the fact is that we haven't grown 25 years later to not be profiling Black men for driving a car. So I thought it was really interesting. I felt bad, obviously, for Los, because it doesn't feel good to be targeted for your skin color. But I was proud of MTV for showing it, even though they probably didn't realize that how poignant it is looking back at it now. But so I didn't really understand what the problem was at the toll booth. I know Kit couldn't drive, and they switched off, and Mark goes and starts to drive, and then they asked if they had propane, and then there was
made a joke about them having propane, because he was like, why are you asking me this? Like, he was just being kind of like sassy. And then because of that, they were pissed. Like, the toll booth people were pissed and wouldn't let them through or something. I forget. I don't know the exact details, but he made a joke about having something, like insinuating he had propane, which I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Like, me neither. Anyways, okay. I was like,
maybe it's illegal to bring it in from another state, or you know.
Yeah, or maybe like people hide stuff in propane tanks. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was the end of episode 7. Then we go to episode 8. They basically go directly to Madison Square Garden. They talk to the security guard, and the security guard is so New York. And that's what I like about New York, is that they're so New York.
Yeah.
You work with accents and stuff as actors all the time. And so, you always have to learn the New York accent. But when you hear these New Yorkers, especially in 95, like, they're so good at that accent.
Yeah, they really are.
I love that guy. So they tell him that they have to go and find this head clown.
Yeah.
Clown school is so fun. Have you ever done clown school? I feel like you might.
I did some clown in theater school, but it wasn't like, let me paint your face and put you in this outfit. Very different type of clown.
I did a little bit as well when I was younger. So I did take mime classes, and in mime we had like a unit that was like a clown unit where we all had to come up with our different clowns. And so my clown, I don't even know if I can do the voice anymore, was like, my name is Marnie Myrtle. Like, I had like a weird limp, and like, I don't know what I was doing, but Marnie Myrtle was my clown name when I was 9 or 10.
That's iconic. Oh my gosh. Yeah, wow. No, when I did clown, we weren't allowed to speak.
You're friends with Ashley Botting, right?
Who?
Ashley Botting. No, you don't do all the improv stuff.
No.
Okay. Well, do you know Trish Lindstrom? Do you do Stratford?
Sorry, who?
Trish Lindstrom, Stratford?
Yeah, I know who that is, but I'm not friends with them.
Well, anyways, both those two people, I think that they were in my class that year when we did these clowns. And I kind of remember Ashley doing a clown. The reason why I bring up Ashley is because a lot of the Second City people know her. Like, she teaches for them. So I wasn't sure if you're part of that group or not. And then Trish obviously has been in Stratford, so you know who she is. Anyways, we were all friends at that time at that school making all these clowns. And so she would probably remember my clown. You know what I mean? Which is kind of funny.
True.
Serious, iconic for sure. So that night, though, they decided to go to Bourbon Street. It's Allison's favorite bar in New York, and they kind of turn it up, as Kit likes to say. And they have to be back at the studio for 6:30 for their clown makeup.
Yeah, that was a disaster waiting to happen. You knew.
Of course. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably wouldn't have gone to sleep, though.
I would not have. When I know I have to get up for something, I don't go hard.
Really?
Yeah, because it's such a disaster. And honestly, if I'm going to go hard, it's because I have the next day to recoup. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, but like on this once in a lifetime experience.
I mean, I'd go out, but I'd come home at a sensible 1:30, you know?
But and all your friends are still going out partying later?
Yeah.
Actually, you could probably been able to go because Los was going to be back at the Winnebago or the hotel wherever they were. And so you could have probably been like, hey guys, I'm leaving early, and then leave and then hear them when they come in at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I probably would have been tired regardless, but I just mean I wouldn't have wanted to turn up in terms of drink that much because then at least I wouldn't be that hungover. I'd just be tired.
Yeah. I mean, I think I am easily influenced. And so someone's like, come on. I'm like, okay. Not
twist my arm. Twist my arm. Wow, I just said bend my arm. Hilarious. Okay, anyways, continue.
Well, so they're trying to they get there. They seem to be late, whatever, but they make it happen. And they are trying to get on the Today Show. Oh my God, I'm so
I can't see you. I'm sorry. It's making me laugh too much. I can literally just
say like this. I knew it was coming. This is the one thing that I haven't experienced with daylight savings is that like, I need to change my filming time because
oh my God, it's too
at 3:00 it becomes too bright to film anything.
Anyways, you can't put something in front of that, or
it's an entire window. Like the window's 5 feet tall.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just like see like this.
Okay. Oh, you look great now.
I just a bit of sweat. So they had to get on the Today Show, and they obviously were late because they got there late, blah, blah, blah. But eventually they see a clip of them, like the cameraman sees them, and they get on the Today Show. So they are able to get their clue. Who gave them their clue? Do you remember?
Remember it was one of the clowns?
Oh, the tall clown, the guy?
Yeah.
And Kit knew a bunch of people. Like, how did she know these people? Allison commented on that.
She did?
Yeah, like there's two people, I believe. She's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you. Or like, oh my God, hi. Like, how are you?
Oh, I don't even remember that part. I think it was maybe like, because she spent a lot of time in New York, hasn't she?
I'm not sure. So the clue was that they have to go to Quantico, Virginia, jump through hoops to complete the mission, lace up your boots. Do you know anything about Quantico?
No, nothing.
I did one episode of Quantico, the TV show.
Really?
I was playing a cop. I couldn't find my scene, so my scene probably was cut out. But yes, I did go to Montreal to play a cop in Quantico.
Ooh.
I got to meet Priyanka Chopra.
Oh my God. Queen.
Taller than I thought she was going to be. She's like 5'9", 5'10". just go like this. Not see the sun. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I have to figure out something else. It's terrible. So they have to go. Basically, it's like a boot camp for the army. Is it the army or the Navy or the?
I think it's like the army. It's some sort of thing like that. It's like military, marine something.
I don't know what the difference is of all these things.
I don't know either.
It's so terrible, but I do not know. So they do before that, though, go to Long Island to visit Allison's mom and her house where she lives at. Los is getting annoyed with Allison. How did you feel about Los how he treated her mom? I thought it was quite rude.
Okay, well, this might be controversial, but I felt it was rude. However, I saw everything in the moment. Like, I feel like I saw that, like, by her making an offhand, not meaning to be offensive comment about, like, why won't you just say your full name if it's a great name, is just like a trigger for someone who had, like, like, I feel like she didn't take him how he was and who, like, if I come in and I say, like, hey, I'm Nash, and you're like, well, why wouldn't you just use your name, Michelle? It's like, well, I associate better with this name, and, like, I'm fine with that, but, like, I'm sure I just feel like he's probably been ostracized or, like, bullied or something, like, bad things have happened in terms of that, and I just feel like in that moment, it's just like, okay, you're not even saying my name properly then. Like, it was sort of like a defense mechanism in that way. Well, it's actually this. It's actually Carlos or whatever he said.
To Los was just to make it easier for people to say.
Yeah.
I think that, obviously we're both older and we probably would have handled that situation differently, and the times have changed. I just would have thought that it would have been more appropriate for somebody's mother. Like, it's just like, it's not somebody that was trying to be rude to you in a public setting, like a complete stranger. And I just thought that the level of respect on how he reacted was what I didn't feel comfortable with. Yes, I can get that he,
Yes.
you know, he's probably had to defend himself a lot of these times, but he did preface it with, oh, I'm annoyed with Allison. And so I felt that part of it was also being rude to her mom was being rude to Allison at the same time.
Oh yeah, it was a complete jab. And that's the thing about it, is it's like he gets defensive, feels hurt, and then changes it into just like being cutting and rude. And it's not the right reaction. Like, his reactions are immature for sure. I just like,
you understand where it's
I know the way Kit was saying about it, it's like, it's not intending to be malicious for real. He just purposely pushes people's buttons in a way, especially people that, like, you know, that he's closer with.
Yeah.
So,
because how I would have wished that he would have reacted to somebody's mother is like, well, my name is actually pronounced Carlos, so with the rolled R, and a lot of people find it really difficult to say. And so I just try to make it easier for people by just saying Los, so that, you know, we don't have to have the conversation all the time. You know what I mean? Like, just to maybe have a little bit of an education, and then she can be like, oh my God, I'm being like a white woman that's like telling someone how to say their name. And so, you know what I mean? Then she might have had some reflection there, but instead it was just like him being rude to her, and she didn't even realize what she was doing wrong.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
Los, got some growing up to do. Yeah, so rude. But I was happy, though, that Allison said something, because I think that he does need to see that, hey, you may be offended by what my mom said, but I don't think that the way that you reacted to her was appropriate. And so I'm happy that she called him out a little bit on that. So at least he's aware that it was kind of rude, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm terrified to be rude to people's parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been rude to people's parents, I guess. So I guess I relate to it.
Really? Do you have a story?
Like, no, I don't have a specific story, but I just like, I find like the ignorance and like condescension of some parents just like really, it gets me somewhere. And I think, you know, it just, as when I was a kid, I got in trouble a lot from other people's parents. Like, other people's parents would get me in trouble and things like that. And I just, so sometimes I feel that irk where it's like, you don't know me and I'm also an adult now. So like, I can make my own decisions and I don't need your judgment, kind of thing. And like, I stop myself. Like, I would never be rude like that now. But like, when I was younger, I feel like I probably have been.
I mean, I think I have been a couple of times where something triggered, kind of, it would be a situation like that. Like I remember one person's mom was telling me how much I looked exactly like Whoopi Goldberg, and like I was really offended by it and pissed off, and like I wasn't able to brush it because I don't personally find Whoopi Goldberg to be aesthetically attractive. I think she's funny. I think she's great. I think she's a wonderful human being. But like, to say that you look like her, in my opinion, I don't find her to be attractive. And so I basically thought it was them telling me that like I was unattractive. And so they're like, oh no, but she's beautiful. And I'm like, anyway, so that was the only time I can think of off the top of my head where I was not as less than kind to a parent, because I was definitely offended, but I think it was like 11. 11 that I learned. I'm like, and so I kind of pick and choose my battles here. So that was the end of the episode. Get to episode 9, and it's boot camp time. And so you had to do all these little exercises. And I was thinking that the boot camp, whoever was watching this or part of this production team, I think that this might have started to be the inception of the challenge.
I was literally, that's the thought, the only thought I wanted to talk about for this episode was just that, like, this episode showed me that, like, I think this is what gave them idea of, like, you have to work as a team. There's drama within having to work as a team. You have goals. You have to do physical things. Some of the people are stronger and already, like Mark. Some of the people have no physical experience like Shelley. But when they overcome something, they feel this validation and this you know, adrenaline and like all of that. I was like, this is for sure the inception of the challenge.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps. So I think you're onto something because like that's like at that moment I was like, I wonder if this was the inception of the challenge.
Yeah, that's literally the thought I had for sure.
So cool. And I think it must have been, because if that's the first thing that we recognize when we're watching this, we're like, wait, there's an idea here. Like someone had a big idea and they probably started workshopping it. And then the next season of the Road Rules happened and they probably like started putting different elements in, because Road Rules eventually becomes where they had to do activities as a team for money. And so I feel like it started here and it's so cool, like to see the beginning of it. I loved it. So they worked together and they had, 10 minutes to do these different tasks. They failed both of them. And seeing the actual boot camp people do it, you're just like, oh my God, we were so bad. But I thought that it was really, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed them rooting, like going, Shelly, you can do it. Like, I love the camaraderie there on the Fallen Angel. Would you have done the Fallen Angel? I know you're afraid of heights.
I mean, if I had enough of a harness thingy on, that like you know what I mean? I don't know. It looked scary as hell. I might have chickened out. I'm not going to lie to you, but I would have maybe tried. But even the walking part, when it was high up, I think that would have been harder for me than sliding, because my legs would just become jelly and I wouldn't be able to walk. Like I've been ziplining, like, and I cried both times. Like I just think like if I'm just left and just go, that's one thing. But to have to actively be like, hey, step, and look, I would die. Like, I'm terrified of heights.
I'm sorry. That sucks. It sucks. I remember when I was living in Vancouver, I'm not afraid of heights at all, but like this actually got me a little bit scared, was they do all these like grouse grinds and climb all these different mountains like for fun. And so I was with this promo team and we left work early. And so we're like, let's go climb the Chief. Let's go climb the Chief. And the Chief is one of the mountains. It's usually easier because there's like, sometimes there's ropes that you like, rope ladders and like, rope bridges, like just different things to climb up this mountain other than just these big rock steps. And so basically you go up for like 2 hours, you're going just up a mountain. And when you get to the top though, it's like kind of flat mountain and you like kind of to get on your hands and knees and like get to the top. And if you fall, like you're actually falling down the mountain. And so that was it. I was kind of like, oh, I better not have slippy shoes right now because like this could be bad actually.
That terrifies me.
That's the only time I was actually really scared. But then the view when you got to the top was worth it. It was like you felt like you could do anything. Being on the top of a mountain and the smell of the air and like seeing how far you climbed and how sore you were, but like get out of breath, but like just beautiful, just mountain view. It was really cool. But I can understand being scared of heights from seeing that view when you're like on like a flat rock, not having a harness. Like,
real,
not a good idea. So yes, oh yeah, that's when Carlos says, "I'm really proud of Shell Bell," is when she was on doing the Fallen Angel, and I was like, look at that nicknames, like they're, even though he hates everybody, like you're saying, they're definitely family and love each other. So they had to eat these MREs, which is a meal ready to eat. That apparently has a 17-year lifespan. Gross.
Ew.
They do the combat course. Kit put poop on her face and thinking it was mud. That's hilarious.
Ew. I didn't realize it was poo.
She said it in her confessional. Maybe she was lying, but she's like, yeah, I just put some like camouflage. I thought it was mud on my face, and really I heard it was poop. Or I don't know what she said, but so hers was apparently poop. They described it as hell, but they all completed it, which was awesome.
Yeah.
They lastly get a clue to go to visit a guy named Michael at the mountain. Mountain. I don't know what I wrote there. A river tour. And they Hayco, West Virginia, and they're going to test their new skills out. So it's going to be working together. Basically, they get there, it's whitewater rafting. They make a little phone call to figure out what they're doing. They see the pamphlet, and they do a lot of. I didn't think that they're going to fit this whole water rafting bit in the whole episode, but they do it. And Carlos is mad at Shelley because she was paddling off beat. Like, come on, Carlos! Like, just
he's just this is the whole thing about him, though, right? Like, he says that, but then he at the end was like, "This is one of my favorite things about the trip." It's like he does that, but then he gets that rush and feels how exciting the whitewater rafting is, and like he still loves it. He's just like being a suck sometimes, and like it's annoying, but he does have fun still. Like it's, you know,
like I get really excited when I see Carlos smile.
Yeah,
you know, I'm always like, "Yay, he's enjoying himself!" Yes. They probably have the same feeling with him. They're just like they like him when he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but then he's in a bad mood sometimes. Like, stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the rapids, Mark pushes them all out, which I thought was funny. And Shelley finds a bottle, and inside the bottle has their next clue. And it basically says, what does Wyatt Earp, J. Edgar Allan Hoover, and Elliot Ness all and them have in common? That's it. They have to go to Nashville.
Nashville, right.
Nashville.
But wait, Nashville where?
I can't remember what it's. I can't read my writing.
It's like not Tennessee. It's like Nashville something else.
Maine. Maine? I can't read my writing right now.
I don't remember.
Nashville.
But it was a different Nashville.
Millar, Maine? Wow. I can't read my writing. It looks like, oh, it's probably going to be backwards.
Wait, let's see. Well, I can't see it. Illinois? God.
I usually can read my writing.
I don't know.
I don't know. Where would they be near? Right now they're in West Virginia, so they're kind of East Coasty, but south-ish. I don't know. Whatevs. So do you have any other tea from either the show? I'll see if I can find that clip for you in their last few moments here and hide from the sun. But any more of the actual challenge tea?
I'm trying to think. Did we talk last time about Fessy cheating on Haley?
Oh, I didn't know it was a cheating thing, but
yeah. So I was reading a thing that said, because obviously they had already broken up long before they went on the show. So I assumed he was going to be hooking up with somebody. And then I was reading, like he hooked up with someone, one of the newer people, I forget specifically who. And then this challenge tea page was saying, like he cheated on Haley, blah, blah. And then other people were saying like, no, they broke up. And apparently the true tea is that they did break up, but then they started seeing each other again and we're trying to make things work. And leading up to the challenge, we're back together. And every week he calls her every week in the challenge house, apparently. And so only now, like when he got back, did she delete all her old photos with him. So like, I guess now she knows he actually was cheating. So she thought they were like together again kind of thing. So now he's become sketch territory.
Why would he do that?
And he's posting all this fucking shit about like, ask me anything. And people were like, you know, whatever. And he's just saying like, everyone's going to judge you no matter what. So just do you. I'm like, your whole shtick was that you were like the most genuine person.
Now, okay, I'm not saying that he should have cheated, but I do find that she was a little bit hot and cold with him. Like,
she was on Big Brother.
And I'm assuming because like they broke up many times, and I feel like she was always the one breaking up with him.
Really?
So I could be wrong, but I don't think that it was him. And so I'm just wondering if he was just like,
yeah, that's fair.
He's been kind of, he was all in for Haley, and she would just like, I'm into you, I'm not into you. Like, cuddle with you, I won't cuddle with you. I want to be your boyfriend, I won't want to be your boyfriend. Like, let's break up, we're not breaking up. Oh, we're together, we're not together. Let me put a Facebook note or a note out from like on my note section on my phone about like our breakup, and then we're back together. Like, it's just, I feel like
That's true.
So not that I feel as though he should have done anything, but I think that there was probably some feeling of safety and just wanting somebody that's like, was into him and like wasn't kind of playing with his emotions a little bit. Not that I'm condoning what he did, but I can maybe understand with like their entire relationship being on and off, like, you know, how can you take it all seriously?
That's really true. You know what? And also like, she's like 21, 22. It's like she's so young and like, yeah, you know what? I rescind.
I mean, you can still be mad at Fessy.
I'm not mad. I don't even care about Haley, really, honestly. Like, she's a nice girl, but like, I'm not like a stan for Haley, but I'm like, his whole image is just going to be like shattered. Like, he's going to become a different type of character on the challenge.
I know. He's going to be like, kind of like hot.
Yeah, like a player type. And, you know, he wasn't really seen that way before. So I'm curious to see. I think he probably makes it really far again. Maybe he makes it to the end again. Who knows? I'm trying to avoid the true spoilers because like I already have a feeling like I know who's going to be in the very, very top. I'm going to just try to enjoy the ride.
I've been here. I heard a couple of little things, and then I don't actually remember what I've heard. But I might remember it once I start seeing the season happening, or I read. I didn't hear it. I read it, and so hopefully that will not like when we do our draft pick and stuff like that. Hopefully that it won't be that indicative. I don't know. I don't remember, but right. Have you heard yet when it's going to be starting?
I've heard January.
Okay. January, that works. That's good for you too. So you won't be in like Christmas holiday season. Okay, I didn't find the clip that I was looking for, but we can watch this one. It just shows Kit in her kind of habitat. All right.
Come back.
Trailblazer over here.
Original one right here.
That thing went off like gangbusters.
And that was before reality. They even knew what reality TV was. Like, you were at the very beginning of those great shows. I mean, what was it like?
By the way, we had no idea what we were doing. I was 24 years old. I'm 48 years old now. We were sponsored by Taco Bell and Power Bars.
Which I love.
I gained over 20 pounds, and I love Budweiser. So the joke was the little one's getting bigger, and like I'd walk in and would waddle in, and I had the time of my life.
First season of Road Rules.
Oh, see, when I was a clown, and oh my God, look at me on the end. That could be.
Where are you?
I ate myself.
Where are you?
Seriously,
right
No,
there.
Kid, which one?
I know.
Come on.
No, which one was you?
Exactly.
Oh, look at there you are.
Oh, that was good. Wait, when we were clowns in the circus, we went out the night before, and I'd had a lot to drink. So the joke was when Barnum and Bailey's circus, like, what's wrong with the little clown?
I assume all clowns come in hungover.
Right?
I mean,
Just a little
can you
bit.
imagine every day, like, oh, I got to put these big shoes on again. They're out drinking every night.
Right? It
Totally.
is weird to think about where we were, that there was no such thing in existence yet. Like, we had no idea.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, but you still did the old school reality TV show thing, which is the hot tub. So I would like to see a clip of Kit in a
I
hot tub.
got nude with the naked man. Okay.
What? Come on, kid.
Yeah, go on in there. But you know what? Actually, it's kind of nice.
Just turn the hell around. It really is.
Look at, I just wasn't thrilled about getting naked in front of some 70-year-old naked man.
Some center naked man.
Thank you.
I don't want to get naked with some center naked man.
And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a difference between naked and nude, right?
Right, yeah. I was
Okay.
naked.
You were
We
naked.
had to get the clue. We're at a nudist trailer park camp.
Sure.
So, as one does.
What's the clue?
Nekid.
The clue, he was holding it. So we all had to
Wait.
get
What?
the nice man was holding
The nice
the clue.
man was just holding the clue. Now, how do they get him? They're like, hey, Carl, you're spending a weekend at this whole lunar colony. We're going to give you a Ziploc baggie with the clue in it. There's going to be a lot of people randomly. They've had a lot of Taco Bell and Power Bars. They're going to get in there and take a clue from you?
Yes, and that's how we know. We got that clue, and then we were off and we opened for Van Halen. This was
Do we have that clip?
No, listen, do not even Google it. My kids tried to watch it. They're like, Mom, it's so slow. Because nowadays everything is so
So
fast.
cocky, yeah.
But back in the day, I still can't believe that I did that. Really fun.
I cannot believe it.
I'm going to go Google the Van Halen one. If someone can find that, will you just send it to me on my Twitter right now?
Oh,
All the
please
blonde
don't.
do it.
Isn't that fun?
Obsessed.
So fun.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that was her. And like, it's a perfect job for her. She's great at talking. She's a great personality on TV, and she's just lighthearted, and it's really just so funny. she's 48 now, and she was in that show before there was even really reality TV. It's amazing.
I know. I love it. I love that clip. And I'm going to see if I can find the one where Mark Long goes to visit her, like after them not seeing each other for like 20 years. So there's a clip of it, him showing up on her show. I'll find it somewhere. So other than the Fessy tea, do you have any other tea? Blaine, do you have any tea? Not spoilers, but tea.
No spoilers. Yeah, no, I haven't heard any other tea yet. But I'm really excited for this one. And I'm excited that I haven't had to focus on Cara or anybody else. And like, of course, there's going to be things that annoy us, as there always is. But if there weren't, then we wouldn't have a lot to talk about, you know? And I think that, yeah, it'll be really fun to just be back at it in the new year with a fresh season.
Yes. And we're going to have so much, like, we'll probably have another full season of Road Rules under our belt, at least maybe even 2, depending on how many we can get through before the new year. And it's just like, we might see even some of these old people coming back. Because I know that Mark Long, it was greenlit, his We Want OGs. So I don't know when that's happening, if it's going to be like, I don't know how that's working. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I just heard that it's definitely happening. He met with them. So I don't know if it'll just be like a special for like a week or 2 or something, or if they're actually going to do a full season or not. So I think a lot's up in the air, and they haven't started shooting yet. But hopefully that'll be to come next year too.
Oh, can't wait. Because I saw that he was having trouble narrowing it down to like people. So he narrowed it from I think 60 to 35 or something. And he still needs
That's like you need to have replacements, right? Because like people are going to drop out. People are going to change their minds. So yeah, that'll be exciting.
Exciting. Well, I love talking about this with you, Obsies. That was fun. We'll probably get through the rest of the season for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find those clips for you so you can see like the reunion of those 2, which will be fun. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, it's just nice to watch reality TV that's lighthearted and quick. Guys, I know it looks old, but let me tell you, 20-minute episodes, it's just like a slice of life, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
So check it out. And it's all on YouTube, so.
Right? I mean, I don't know about season 2, but like definitely season 1 we were able to find. So yay! And we have to figure out somewhere else to film because this lighting stitch is not.
We're both struggling. My eyes are barely open right now because the sun is just blinding me. But here we are. It's fine.
We did it.
We did it.
Are you working on anything that people should follow you or find you for?
God, no. I mean, you can feel free to follow me. I don't have anything like too crazy going on right now. Just a lot of work and a lot of little projects that I'm working on, but nothing that I can invite you to yet. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe right down over there. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you guys. Please follow us along with our Road Rules 1995 coverage. It's been really fun. So we'd love to have some conversations with you because, as you could see in this last segment, that old issues are still in play today. And so it's still really interesting to see the social element of these old school reality shows because it is still relevant today. Mm-hmm. So please like this video and ring the bells every time we go live. Usually once a day. I do my best to make that happen. You will be notified. Other than that, I'm so happy to be here with you, Michelle.
Chantele.